What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Tell me where is Carmen Sandy? Where on earth can she be? Where on earth can she be? Savage.
Okay, in this video, we're going to get into all of that Reverie business, that Vivi business, that RIP Cobra business.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here.
The man was a goat, okay? We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into all of that. What happened at the Reverie? Why didn't Oda show it to us? Why does he keep telling us? Let's get into this. We learned that Vivi has mysteriously disappeared. How can that happen? Well, Kuma was saved, right? And Kuma has the ability to make people mysteriously disappear. So it's very likely that Vivi was sent on a vacation. Where is she going? Wano? Maybe, but I mean, we probably would have seen her by now. If she's not being sent to Alabasta to, you know, rally everybody over in Alabasta, maybe get them out of Alabasta using the springs in the Gadatsu cover story. You know, if Alabasta was to get Buster called, like we were talking about in the Theory for Theory with Parvision, there is a possibility that Vivi gets sent to Elbaf. If she's getting sent anywhere, that's where I think it makes most sense, because the story is leading us to Elbaf, and Vivi was there during Little Garden, where everything about Elbaf, Usopp's dream, and all of that took place. She was there for it. So she needs to be in Elbaf. One of my favorite visuals that I've had for a long time is just Oda showing us a panel of a paw print, just like in 3D2Y, and then a hand comes up, and it's Vivi. Where is she? That's, you know, to be determined, right? Because it's probably to be continued, and then we find out the following week. I've also considered her being a stowaway underneath a ship with Karu, just in a somber mode, reflecting on all of the previous events of the Reverie. Did Cobra die protecting Vivi? That's a possibility. Someone was going to attack Vivi, Cobra jumps out of his wheelchair and protects his daughter, you know, something like that. Sabo can't get there in time, orders Kuma to get Vivi out of there. Suddenly, the paw comes out, she goes away as she's seeing her father die. Emotional stuff. That's what I want. Let's get into that, Oda. Is Oda planning to use Vivi as the vehicle for the first-hand account of what happened in the Reverie, telling it to the Straw Hats, and essentially counting as Vivi's sad backstory before she rejoins? Who actually killed Cobra is the question. I don't think it was Sabo, and if it was an accident. I don't think there's anything in the story that would have Oda actually have Sabo kill Cobra on purpose, because Sabo and Vivi are likely together right now. Also because Sabo has a fever card to Luffy, so this is Vivi's way to get back to the crew. That's been my agenda since day one. Number one agenda, Vivi comes back to the crew. I'm thinking Rob Lucci murdered Cobra. A man has a bloodlust. It would be a definitive defining moment for Lucci if he was tapped to be the weapon of the gods to go out there and extinguish this light. I would see them trusting him because he is a loyal follower. And as I've talked about before, I think all CP0 agents are slaves to the Celestial Dragons. The CP agents were wanted after Enies Lobby, and then suddenly now they're working for the world government and protecting the Celestial Dragons. Certain key phrases and things that Dripper Scarfano and Guernica, aka Schoolboy Collins, were talking about all through Wano imply that they do not have any free will of their own. So if they've got a hoof of the Soaring Dragon on their backs or anything like that, that would line up, but they just have the freedom to act out their wishes. maybe Who's Who denied that opportunity, and that's why they were after him also. Why it would also make sense for Rob Lucci to be that person is the interaction that happened in 906 or 907, where Rob Lucci and Vivi actually have a argument. Part of the driving force behind the entire Water 7 saga is the ancient weapon Pluton, which was also the driving force behind the Vivi-centered Alabasta saga. So here is this pre-timeskip Straw Hat that wasn't there for the events of Enies Lobby, having an interaction with the main antagonist of that particular arc. Phenomenal. The last thing I'm waiting for Oda to confirm is whether or not Wapol outed Vivi as a Straw Hat pirate to Big News Morgans. We know that Wapol gave Morgans proprietary information from the Reverie. The one thing that he knows that no one else would know is that Vivi used to be a pirate. If that information leaks, just like Frankie at the end of Water 7, she'll be forced to come back to Luffy. I'd also love to see a situation where, because of Sabo's fight with the admirals, all of the kings huddle together in safety, and then a sequence where it's actually Wapol's fault by being a snake and a rat that the world government even finds out where Cobra is, and he becomes essentially responsible for how Cobra dies. What happened to Chaka, Igaram, and Pell? The Alabasta ship has not left the waters outside Marijoa. Were they pawed away as well? Are they alive? Are they not being reported because they're not important like Cobra was? I don't know. But hopefully Pell didn't do anything amazing, because in my mind he died in Alabasta, and I just kind of need that to stay like that. Like we say on this channel, Chaka can do it. Everything except fly. Chaka can do it. Need help putting a light bulb in? Chaka can do it. Need help putting some drywall up? Hey, Chaka can do it. Need help taking the helms of the Royal Army of Alabasta? Chaka can do it. Need someone to talk to Vivi in a scene about anything? Chaka can do it. Pell's dead. Igaram exists too. He does. If she wasn't slapped away by herself by Kuma, there were 3 people that Vivi could have ended up with at the end of the Reverie. Okay, we talked about all of them. 1, Sabo, Revolutionary Army leader, Luffy's brother, has a Vivre card to Luffy. 2 and 3 are together. Sai and Leo, members of the Grand Fleet, both have Vivre cards to Luffy. The whole point is whoever Vivi is with, they have a Vivre card to Luffy. Is Vivi the key to Kuma? When Kuma attacked the Straw Hats, right at the end of Sabaody, the last thing he says to Luffy is, we're never going to see each other again. Meanwhile, his last prime directive was to protect the Sunny, which still doesn't make any sense in the big scheme of things, right? That Vegapunk would allow that for 2 years. This project that he was working on to just go off and, and just protect this ship for these known pirates. Kind of wild. But now it seems that he only responds and obeys to celestial dragons. Well, come to understand, for a very long time, we know that Vivi and the Nefertari family are part of the 20 Kings. So she's got royal celestial dragon blood in her. If Vivi gave Kuma an order, would Kuma answer it? Maybe. So instead of Kuma dying and Vivi eating the Nikyu no Mi, which has been theorized to death for many years, right? Based on the 2-9 theory and all of that. I mean, hell, we even buy into it a little bit. You know, I even put Vivi on my little Kuma diorama here. But Vivi doesn't necessarily need to eat the fruit if she can command Kuma as a surrogate. So then that would be sort of the interesting thing. It would just be Vivi with Kuma behind her and like, oh man. I mean, that kind of stuff. We're getting wacky, we're entering fanfiction territory there, but that would be fun. It would be fun. And we get Kuma back into the story. Kuma becomes a technical Straw Hat. I don't know. I'm getting wacky. I really like that though. That's how I want to see the Nikyu no Mi come in. But one cool thing about Vivi actually getting sent to Elbaf as well is if she's been there for a couple of weeks. Dory and Bragi should be on Elbaf to begin with. And they're going to remember Vivi. They're going to remember her as one of the people that helped end their duel, end their squabble, allowed them to go back to their people in the first place. So they're going to want to help Vivi. What if they even teach Vivi some ways of the giants? Teach Vivi hockey if she didn't already learn it from somebody in Alabasta during the 2-year time skip. Who knows? We don't know what Vivi's been up to, but we know that she's still a fighter. She's still competent. She still took out numbered agents in Alabasta, which people forget. She took out Mr. Seven, Miss Father's Day, Miss Valentine's Day, head-to-head with Crocodile, lost, but still tried to fight him. Like, she's awesome. But I could just see it. She gets there, she runs into Dory and Bragi, and then they're just like, oh, I remember you. And then, like, Oimo and Kashi are there, and Oimo and Kashi are telling her about what happened in Eni's lobby. And if Rob Lucci is actually the person who killed Cobra, then she can learn firsthand about everything that happened at Eni's lobby, and then she would learn about why they would have a vendetta against Rob Lucci, and then it's just tying everything together. She needs Luffy. That's the core thing for Elbaf, and then if they just show up at Elbaf with Shanks or something like that, you know, then it all ties together. They get the One Piece, they go stop the world government. There's a lot of ways that this can all mesh. Kuma knows the Thousand Sunny. If he has any inkling of his memories inside of him, could he have just slapped Vivi all the way to the Thousand Sunny? Does he have that power? Could Oda pull a Portgas D Rouge and mess with the timeline and basically say that Kuma can determine how long you're flying in the air and eliminate the 2-day portion of it and just make it a month? Either way, the very same man that split the crew up 2 years ago would simultaneously be responsible for the greatest reunion of the entire Straw Hat crew. With that scenario, we would essentially get Vivi in Wano, which was set up by one of Luffy's first lines of dialogue at the beginning of the arc, speaking about how he wanted to see Vivi again. So either way, we are going to see Vivi again. She is going to rejoin with the crew. It's just a matter of when, where, and how. It makes narrative sense for her to be in Elbaf, considering all of the ties back to Little Garden, but if she joins back in Wano by landing on the Sunny miraculously, then she'll be with them when they get to Elbaf either way. And that's going to do it for the part 2 video here, just focusing in on the Reverie, Vivi, going to Elbaf, all of that stuff, Kuma. God, I love this. Pen 55, come to me. Come to me. Like, comment, subscribe if you're feeling the vibe.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.